How do I introduce it?
Shut the
Bloopers.
Yeah.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Dayton from Stay Fit 24 with Seth, Screamin' Screamo.
Hey, what's up, guys?
And today we're doing the first episode of our podcast, which we plan on doing every single Friday. Today we're actually going to be talking about fad diets. So, as you guys know, fad diets are the things that like everyone likes to try every year and then they end up not working out or used to saying it for the whole time. So, some of the things that we're going to be talking about is keto, paleo, intermediate fasting, prolonged fasting, and extreme low-calorie diet. So, what is your opinion, just over all the broad scheme, over all of like just the fad diets in general? Seth, I'm asking you.
Oh, okay. You know, the word diet, a lot of people, they use it to say, hey, I'm going to go on a diet. I'll start next week. I'm going to go on a diet. I'm on the keto diet, you know, can't have any carbohydrates. Paleo diet. You know, I eat pretty natural. Intermittent fasting. You know, I can only eat during a certain window. Prolonged fasting. I'm not gonna eat today, but tomorrow I'm gonna smash. Then extremely low calorie diet. Hey, I'm gonna eat bare minimum. I'm gonna go lose weight. You know, it's gonna be good. Problem with all that stuff is, as soon as you're off that diet, it's not sustainable. You don't really change anything. It's like a hamster in a wheel. You're always going in circular motion, so it's coming for a circle. So whatever losses that you have from fat, or if you end up trying to gain muscle from these diets, it's kind of like stepping backwards going forward. You're going 1 foot forward, 1 foot back. So it really doesn't help you.
The only way it's possible about even probably gaining muscle or trying to gain muscle during these diets is if you're trying to lose weight at the same time as if you never worked out before and you're just going to make very minimum beginner gains. But what we're going to do is actually go through all of these diets. We're going to list some of the things that we think are good about them, some of the things that we think are bad about them. Seth, I think you tried two of these diets before.
Mm-hmm.
I've tried one of these diets before, so we're going to give our little experience about like our opinion on these diets when we did them. So the first one is a keto diet. I have never done a keto diet.
I have not either, but I know it's a huge hot topic issue right now. You know, you talk to all the celebrities to see what they're doing. You know, keto, it's the way of the future, right? Well, we're going to debunk that.
So keto, I feel, is very good for getting you results just because it keeps you in check as far as calorie-wise, which I feel losing weight just mainly comes down to calories in versus calories out, obviously. So it kind of keeps you on the low carbs and all that kind of stuff. So I think it's good for just fast results, but is it one of those things that you're going to be able to adapt over a long period of time so you don't kind of go in reverse? And yeah.
So the trouble with keto is, all right, you're going to lose all this weight, right? Next thing you know, the holidays come around. Are you going to say no to that cookie? Are you going to say no to your mom's favorite recipe for, let's say, cheesy potatoes? Raise your hand if you could smash some cheesy potatoes. I know I could. Or mac and cheese, another thing. So the moment you have those carbohydrates, you're going to relapse. I'm not sure if you guys knew this or not, but sugar is the most addictive drug on the planet. Your brain feeds off it. So if you limit it, the moment you have it,
you're right back where you started.
You're right back where you started.
Yeah, so this diet has a very big chance of you going relapse and not being able to do a prolonged keto diet. It's good if you want to do something, you know, maybe for a month, just do a quick cut or something like that. Maybe you have something coming up, but after that, once you start binging back onto what you want, it's going to be very hard to get back into that again unless you obviously... I feel keto is a good short-term diet as far as a month or two or something like that if you really want to, like I said, prepare for something coming up. Any final words on keto?
Well, with keto, like I said, it's a flavor of the month right now. You know, you're gonna start seeing problems with it here in the future. Just like anything, you know, you have your good and your bad. The biggest thing when it comes to whatever you want to do with your weight or your fitness goals, you have to find out what works for you. So with all these diets that we're talking about, you know, if it works for you, that's great, but it's not going to work for everyone. What works for Dayton doesn't work for me. So with that being said, we're going to talk about the paleo diet now.
So the paleo diet, I feel like the good thing is it's pretty well rounded. It doesn't like the keto kind of diet kind of says no to carbs at all. The paleo diet is well rounded. You can kind of get kind of pick what you want to choose and eat. You're not too limited. It's easy to find stuff. But some of the bad stuff, as far as it's a little expensive because most of it is organic naturally. So the paleo diet, if you guys don't know, it's kind of like from the paleo age. So everything that they kind of eat is what they kind of put into your diet that way. So.
Yeah, so back then during the Paleo age, that's when they were gathering hunters. They hunted for their food. So that's why a lot of the meats that you're gonna see in the Paleo diet, it's organic, natural. So like if you're an avid hunter, Paleo diet, if you like going hunting for your food, it's great. It's a great source of nutrition that you can just get on your own. So you don't have to worry about going to a store or anything like that. But again, the problem with the paleo diet is your average person who lives in the city, if you're not going out hunting deer every year or keeping your meat freezer full, it gets pretty expensive. Go to your local grocery store. Look at the difference between organic roast beef versus one that's maybe has a little process in it. To be a lot less expensive going the other route.
Right.
The problem with that is, money. When it really comes down to it, most people they shy away from the more expensive things in life because they can't afford it, and that's just the way it is. So there's really nothing you can do about it.
And just another thing about this diet is we would recommend as far as maybe supplements and things like that, because with this diet, you're going to have a lot of nutrient deficiencies just because, like, once again, it's a diet that was based off of what pretty much cavemen eat, years and years and years and years ago. So you're not all with they didn't have obviously the research of like things that you should and should not be eating as far as that. But overall, I would say once again, it's one of those diets that's good. To lose weight, obviously, because you're not eating a whole bunch of processed foods like most people eat nowadays. So next we're gonna get into the 2 fasting diets. Seth knows a little bit more about these than I do since he actually put his body through these for a period of time. What was your overall on the diets?
So with any of the fasting diets, you have to have a pretty strong mindset. Your typical day of like American diet, what you're gonna have is you're gonna have a breakfast, lunch, snack, and a dinner too. So with the fasting, you're controlling your window of eating, and so right off the back, limiting something, it's gonna make you cranky. If you're a coffee person, some of these fasting diets, you can't have coffee. It's a stimulant. You can't have cream in your coffee. So if you're someone who has cream in their coffee, that's a whole nother issue. Is going from something you like to something that may be a little bit healthier for you, but it doesn't taste great. The mental aspect of it. If you're not mentally strong, I would suggest not trying to do this because you're just going to relapse too quick.
So tell us where you started at, how long you did it for, and what your results were from the diets.
Okay, so with my, I started with intermittent fast because I wanted to, it's a new hot topic issue. Me being in the fitness industry, I wanted to know a little bit more about it before I went and talked about it. So from my personal experience, intermittent fast, for me, it works pretty well because I'm a pretty busy person. I drink my coffee black already, so I don't have to worry about putting anything in it. Me eating, I'm pretty quick on the go. I'm between here and my North Canton location, so I need to be able to eat sporadically if needed. But what I found to be better for me personally, again, not working for Joe Smuckatelli down the road, prolonged fasting was a great mental challenge for me. And the reason why is so you take your average day, you expect to eat something, drink something like that. I went from training myself, again, mentally, that's the hardest part of this fasting type of stuff, training yourself not to eat anything. So you can drink water, you can drink black coffee, anything else, like you can't have any like diet soda because that has sugar alcohols in it. You can't have flavored water. You can't have G2 Gatorade. Still calories in that. And then from there, I upped the ante and I did what was called a dry fast. So dry fast, what that is, you get absolutely nothing in your body. That means no water. That means not brushing your teeth. So I'm sorry to my clients that experienced that. No, I'm just kidding. I didn't do it on the days I was training people, but that was very mentally difficult to do. But the caveat of that is I found great results from it. But the mental aspect of it was very hard to do. I would not suggest trying to do that right away. If you are going to go that route, work your way to it. Do your research. Make sure that you set yourself up for success, because with anything you do in life, odds are the first time you do it, you're not going to be successful. So write down your experience, whether you're doing an intermittent fast or a prolonged fast, or if you're up to it, a dry fast, and find what would trigger you to break that fast. Because if you can figure that stuff out and find an environment that's going to support you with what you want to do, you'll get great results from it.
So prolong, that's not something you would want to do for a long period of time, though?
I would not suggest doing that for a long period of time.
It's just one of those things, you have something coming up.
Let's say you have say you got a wedding. You haven't really dieted for it at all. You got fitted for a dress, and
or
tux, and it's getting crunch time, and you lose about 15 pounds. That would be a great way for you to fit to your dress. That way you look good for your pictures and stuff like that. But we're also going to talk about the caveat of this intermittent fast and prolonged fast. So anything you do difficult wise, there's going to be some repercussions with it. So the intermittent fast and prolonged fast, the problem with both of those is when you don't eat, your blood sugar will drop dramatically. And if anyone here knows anything about your blood sugar, it's kind of what gets you going. It gives you the energy. And so the first couple times you do this, you're gonna feel like crap. You're not gonna want to do it. And that's where most people, where they don't succeed, is the first couple times to do it. Again, you need to write down why you failed, and then try to fix that, and then try it again. Rome wasn't built in a day. I'm sure they messed up a lot. That's why it wasn't built in that one day. So, anything you want to do, you're going to struggle with at first. It's just the way it is.
So what's your overall opinion on either of these two? Intermittent fasting, I feel like, is one of those things you could do for, one of those things that you can incorporate your entire life if you had to, because obviously, you're still daily eating, trying to hit the calories that you want. It's just, and then prolonged, obviously, sometimes you're not eating for 72 hours, so.
Yeah, so the intermittent fast, it would be a great lifestyle switch to. You could do it really easy. It's not really that hard. Again, the first couple times you do it, it's going to be a little difficult, but once you get in the habit of it, it's not bad. Prolonged fast, again, once you get used to it, it's not bad, but if you try doing it for an extended period of time,
just set a goal and get there.
It's not that great. You're not going to find sustainable results from it. Just like with the keto diet, with the keto, it's low carbs. With a prolonged fast, you're decreasing your calorie content for the week, or if you do it longer than a week, for a couple of weeks. And the problem with that is eventually you're going to break down muscle. Your body's going to start going to its organs and stuff like that to pull from all these areas where you have this extra glycogen, which is the sugar that's stored in your muscles. And you're going to start really thinning out and looking kind of scary looking, which is not what you want.
Yeah.
So I would suggest if you are going to do a prolonged fast, don't do it that long.
Okay, so the next diet we're going to get to is the extreme low calorie diet, which I did about 3 or 4 years ago. So this was like just out of high school. I lost about 50 pounds on this diet. So I started around like 225, 230, dropped all the way down to 180 pounds. So pretty much what this diet is, obviously, is probably pretty self-explanatory, low calories. So at this point, when I first started the diet, I went in nice and slow to it. I went to about eating about 1,800 calories. Then it was at that point where I wasn't quite happy, so then I dropped them even lower. At one point, I was eating all the way down to about 12 to 1,300 calories a day, which is extremely low.
It's like one Big Mac, man.
So it's extremely low, but I will say this diet obviously got me results. I did lose, like I said, about 50 pounds all the way to 180, but this is also one of those diets that you don't want to, once you get to a goal, it's going to want to be those things. If you want it to be effective long term, you got to kind of ease your way off of it. You can't just go from 1,200 calories a day just to go eating back to what you were, which I will say is actually not as hard as you would think, because once you eat, because I did it for about 6 months or so. So once you eat for 6 months, so like low calories, you really kind of carve your appetite down. So even when I got off the diet, it was pretty easy to eat, I guess, normally around, your typical 2 to 2,500 calories a day. So it does give you quick results though. I was losing about 2 pounds a week, pound or two a week. But one of the big things I did notice that when I was working out, you do lose your strength extremely fast. One, because you don't have the energy, because you are just mentally exhausted, and you just have no energy in the body because you're only eating very minimal calories in the day. So you did lose a lot of strength, and obviously the other strength is just because I lost 50 pounds. So me being 50 pounds heavier, obviously you're going to be a lot stronger regardless. A lot more muscle, a lot more fat just to push. But yeah, it's hard to maintain over time, just for the simple fact that you're just gonna keep losing until you obviously up your calories back. So you have to find the point that it's one of those things, once again, that you set a goal, you get to that goal, and then it's gonna be, if you are mentally strong enough to slowly ease your way back into eating normally like you should be to maintain that weight, or if you're gonna go back to yourself and start eating, what you were before, whatever it was, 4,000 calories, and gain all your weight back. So it's one of those things. Have you ever done a low-calorie diet before?
I have not. I've had a couple clients that are on it, and I quickly told them to get off of it. It's just like with the prolonged fast. Your calories are so low. It's almost whenever you come into to work out, or even if you just have a walking program, your body's going to break down too quick. It's better to walk a mile than try to run and end up falling on your face. No one wants to fall right on their face, so it's easier to ease into something, for sure.
Yeah, I would definitely say, it's just kind of like the prolong, where you set a goal. Like if you want to do something quick, you set a goal and do it, and then I feel like prolong might be a little bit more effective, just because I feel like you can lose more weight faster, but because this diet you're only losing, it's hard to explain, but like the prolong, you can get to a certain weight probably faster than the extreme low calorie diet because you're still eating every single day. But I feel you might be able to do this a little bit more long term. It's just one of those things that you just have to know when to stop, because it's not very healthy and you just have no energy. And it almost, once you get on it too long, it's almost like addicting, that like everything you eat, you have to count your calories and this, that. And so, yeah, it was one of those things that so I use my Fitness Pal, obviously, which is just a food logger. You track your calories and everything like that. So literally it became an addiction. Every single thing that went in my body, I was measuring out. I was logging, see how many calories it was. And it'd be one of those things where I would see my calories had 1,500 and I would try to get like 1,300 to see how much I can beat it by. And by the end of the day, I was been hungry, which is obviously not a good thing because your appetite's so low. So I would not do this diet personally long term. It's one of those things, maybe you do it for a month and that's it, and then try your best to ease your way off of it, just as a little boost. Let's say, once again, like you had a wedding or something come in, you had to fit into a dress. But besides that, I wouldn't recommend this diet, or really any of these diets at the end of the day. My personal belief is a well-maintained, balanced diet. It doesn't have to be nothing fad just because everyone's talking about it, you don't have to do it. I feel it's just self-control, eat less, eat healthier, necessarily, I guess not even less, just eat better, make better decisions. Don't, just because you're in a rush on the way home doesn't mean you have to pick up McDonald's or Burger King or any kind of fast food. Just go home, try to make the smart decisions. Losing weight is obviously more expensive and it takes more time to make sure you lose weight than running through the drive-thru for 5 minutes and just picking up whatever you want. So So what's your final opinions on podcast number 1 about all these fad diets?
All right, so yeah, when it comes down to diet, if you're really serious about changing your lifestyle and kind of where you want to be with your fitness goals or even your body image, you need to take that word diet, throw it away. You need to change your lifestyle, making those healthier choices of eating a little bit more vegetables. Stop going to gas stations, picking up those monsters, those calorie. What's the word I'm looking for? Those calorie. Calorie insufficient foods. Like those cookies, those cakes, those real empty calories.
Yeah,
so
empty calories.
Getting
there's
foods,
no benefit to it.
Yeah, there's nothing. It's like you're eating air, man.
Just
It's
sugar
not gonna
and
help
air.
you. So you're gonna find better results making a change in your day-to-day activities than going on a keto, paleo, intermittent fasting, prolonged, extremely low-calorie diet, because you're gonna sustain those results more. All these diets that are out there, if you really break them all down, put them side by side, the secret formula is calories in versus calories out.
Don't have to do nothing extreme to get there. The long term is better than the short term. So, all right, I think that's we covered pretty much everything that we wanted to cover in this episode. So we plan to be back every single Friday, do a podcast, a different topic every Friday. And yeah, we'll get a little better at this as time goes on. So we'll have to see. Make sure you guys like though. Tell us your opinions or any experiences on any of the diets that we went over in the comments. Besides that, I guess me and Seth are out of here. So see you guys next time.
All right, see ya.